You know what's weird on my TV? I just saw the advertisement for DePaul's reality series on Max, followed by an advertisement for AEW on Max.
The only clip that I've seen of that show that I saw one commercial and it had Liv Morgan in it. I'm like, it was Logan Paul and the Paul's on Max with guest Liv Morgan. It's like, Jesus, they're getting better promotion for WWE on Max than AEW is. It's just sad.
That just happened. That's weird.
Although,
any open topics from the crowd?
Yeah, anybody? By any means. If anybody wants to speak, just ask. I can allow it in. By all means, this is an open forum. That's what this is for. We're trying to also grow the YouTube channel, but we're here just to kind of talk and have fun.
I actually have wanted to mention something. I wanted to ask something to the people. But how are you feeling about this NXT and TNA partnership? Because it seems to be cooking. I mean, they just had, Cora Jade's was relatively on the tear before lost at Sacrifice. And then they had Lash and Jakara and
Gigi Dolan. Yeah.
Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley on. So,
and
how do you feel about that?
So it's got me watching TNA regularly. Like I don't watch it intensely, but I usually will put it on Thursday night and I've rewound and watched more things. I will say too, the fact that we get Ariana Grace and Santino together and they're really father and daughter in real life is the greatest stuff ever. Them together, it's just gold. I don't know. I was always a Santino fan myself. He was always my favorite comedy guy. And so the stuff they have going with them, I feel like the women is probably the best to get a benefit of the roster just because there's so many talented women that it's giving them time to get reps in. Getting them to get work in front of a crowd and in front of a different crowd. I don't know. It seemed like when Gigi was cutting that promo, you could see the fire in her, because she was excited to be back in front of more of a quote indie style crowd. It felt like. I think it's a great partnership personally.
NXT does tours throughout Florida, right?
They do. I think what they call it, the Coconut Loop or something like that. It's got some silly name like that. But yeah, they do. I think they do it most weekends where they do 2 house shows.
To my knowledge. Good for them. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and they do small venues like high school gyms or boys and girls clubs, that sort of thing. But it's getting repetitions. You're getting to work in front of a crowd. And from what I've seen, I don't follow everything he does, but a lot of what I've seen from Lexus King on Twitter, he's done a lot of those house shows. That's kind of how he's gotten over, and he's improved leaps and bounds from the time from when he left AEW to where he is now.
He just seems happier.
Oh God, right? Yeah, you can see it. It's because he's one of those guys, at least in the interviews that you could see with him, he didn't come right out and say it. He didn't want to bury the company he was working for, but he could see, he's like, I just want to be coached. I just want to learn. Somebody teach me. I want to be a sponge and learn how to do this better. And anybody with that mindset in the performance center is going to succeed. Maybe they won't be a world champion, but they'll be the best. They'll get to the best of their ability. And he went from being
his dad was a football player. And a wrestler, but played for the Bengals, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was his gig because that was the where they made him and Austin the Hollywood Blondes. So he was doing the Cincinnati Bengals kind of babyface, used to be a football player gimmick, and Austin was doing his Texas thing, and they made him the Hollywood Blondes. And it's like, people realize we're from Cincinnati, and you know what? Fine, we'll do it. It's fine. Let's see. There's a hand up, Brandon. What's up, buddy? By all means, come on in and speak.
How's everyone doing tonight so far?
We're doing well. Glad to have you here.
No problem. I've been I'm not sure if you guys been paying attention, but it seems like a lot of AEW fans are celebrating that AEW Dynamite is going to surpass Nitro, and I'm wondering
on the amount of episodes, which is that's literally I can't think of an equivalent of what that would be in sports of what you're passing, but it's the furthest you can move the goalpost to have it try to matter. They aired more episodes. Okay, great. How many more people were in the stands at the Nitro shows versus the AEW shows? How many more people paid for tickets?
I was asking, how do you guys feel about that? Because personally, I kind of feel like it's just, why do they care about that Dynamite surpasses a show that's been dead for decades? It's like,
because it's the only thing they can get over Bischoff and Kevin Nash.
Again, why?
Again, yeah, I'm with you 100%. I am
Why
absolutely
do
with
you
you.
care? Why do you care what they think of AEW? You should just ignore them. Do you hear?
Brother,
Do you hear? Do you hear WWE fans complaining if someone criticizes the show? They just like, okay, moving
You're
on.
right, and not everyone's gonna like every little part. But brother, you
Yeah.
nailed something that I was saying literally from the beginning of AEW. Of just focus on your own shit. Focus on your own show. Focus on your own house. Get your stuff going as best as you can. But they were always gonna throw shots at WWE. Throw grenades and try to have a little war and beat WCW when your numbers weren't comparable. And how did WWE actually beat WCW? It wasn't that they were always talking about them or undercutting them on TV. They tried that with the Billionaire Ted skits. They didn't work. What happened? Their shows got better. Austin versus McMahon. They figured out how to write storylines and get us to actually be entertaining. And then what happened? They kicked their ass.
Well, to be fair, I mean, WWE kind of started it first when Triple H called AEW a T-shirt company, so we gotta be fair.
Yeah, but that was that was on the Hall of Fame, and it was a throwaway joke, and I feel like it was more of a diss on Billy Gunn than anything. But if that's we take that and what they've said, and then think of like Tony calling out Nick Khan directly on TV, or the million other things they've said. I feel like the stack numbers. I mean, I get why they want to do it and where they think they are, but that's just not where their company is at. That's even like Dave acting like they're the most profitable company and blah, blah, blah. How much money have they spent? Have they actually turned a profit? That was the whole point of Bischoff's success with WCW, was that he just wanted to turn $1 in profit. They ended up turning, what was it, 30 million and 60 million, and then lost it all eventually. But we're just talking about the success there. I see other hands up too. By all means, I'd be happy to speak. I could easily shut up. I'm just kind of trying not to have dead air and drive the conversation where I can, but this is definitely a democracy.
I had a sports reference. It's like back in the day when Jets fans would beat the Pats every once in a blue moon and talk mad shit on social media about it afterwards. Right. It's like, yeah, but the Pats have won how many Super Bowls and
right, but yeah, and they're what, 10-2, and you're 3-7, so maybe just no. That's a good it's celebrating what you can, but why? I just don't. And I mean the reason, like that's they feel like this is their win over Eric Bischoff or their win over Kevin Nash because they tell the truth about what they see on AEW, and that
it's definitely more against Bischoff.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like it's almost 100% against Bischoff. I just know Nash has said things too, and wanted to give him a shout out because I don't watch his show regularly, but I love watching the clips.
Well, then you'd think that AEW fans would be happy when he took shots at Logan Paul and was like, he's not one of the boys. What are you talking about? Logan Paul isn't one of the boys. He's just a fucking celebrity.
Yeah, he did say that. Brandon, go ahead.
Or he might have his hand up still. You have something, Brandon?
Still up in the air, so I figured you wanted to say something.
Really? I don't see it. Mine ain't really up in the air.
It's all good. No, yeah. All good.
Yeah.
No, this is fun, though. I like this. We're actually, like, this is good conversation. We're like the anti-spaces because I feel like everybody always talks about how everybody just bitches and pickers in spaces and that kind of thing. That's the idea. We just want to have fun and talk about things. That's the whole point of the YouTube page. So by all means, please watch our videos. Go ahead.
Hold up.
We're going to drop.
Hold up.
Yeah, what's up?
I'll be right back. Hold up. I need to show you something. I feel like.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. I just need to find a clip.
Can we see things on here?
What was that?
Can we actually see things
I think it will
here?
go. There's like a thread in the actual spaces that can do. As far as I can tell. Again, I'm still kind of learning how this all works.
All modern technology to me.
Right? Hey, we making it work. We're learning and having fun. Like professionally unprofessional. Or unprofessionally professional, whatever you want to say. No, this is cool, though. I'm glad to be able to do this. And hopefully gain us some subscribers and at least get viewers for it because I will definitely be using this as content for the page.
For those who care, LFG was on tonight.
Yeah, but I haven't been watching it. I feel like I should, but I just haven't had the time for it. I am going to watch. I watched Rivals and the Greatest Moments, though. That's what I'm going to watch after this.
There was a promo last week from one of the guys who basically kind of low-key buried everyone in the room, and like Bubba and Punk were like fucking furious with him. But then again, it's like whenever I see Bubba get irritated with that, I'm like, Bubba, you're one of the biggest shit talkers in the world, man.
I mean, hey,
like,
you got to get yourself noticed. If it gets you noticed, it works, right?
Well, and then
that's my understanding of the situation.
Well, yeah, and then I mean, in Punk's case, he's probably like, okay, now, if I wanted to, I could enter into this situation, but I'm not going to enter into this situation because I could do some real damage to this kid. but yeah, I mean, it's really fun. One of the Usos, what is it like? Their cousin, the former Scott
cousin, uncle. There's so many. One of their family members.
Yeah, we wrestled tonight. She looked good. Sadly, she beat Serena Lou. I'm pretty excited for.
I see what Brandon just shared. I don't know if everybody else can see in the spaces. I can see it where it's the Pete Dunne and Trent Seven where they do the Triple H water spit. I saw that earlier. If I click it, will that show it to everybody? I don't know.
So the reason I showed it is look at the quote tweets. It's the usual suspects, which is the quote unquote sickos who are pissed off at this, and it's like maybe some people need to realize that the indies aren't really as anti WWE as they think they are. I said, the IWC is an echo chamber,
and that's where like people. And I mean, this happens in sports too, where like fans will get mad that like players on like like the Yankees and Sox or Celtics and Lakers, like that the players are friends outside. Like the world isn't that way anymore. And honestly, like AEW and WWE aren't like the talent. There might be some talent with some beefs with each other for sure. Like that's obviously, but overall, like they're all friends with each other. Usually, they all know each other. I mean,
aren't indie shows the main portion of the indie show supposed to be like a tribute?
Yeah, you're supposed to
like give it up to your roots.
Well, and the indie shows, if it's a true, like I haven't been to many indie shows, but to my understanding of a lot of it, especially shows that like they're not taping it, they're not going to air it, it's not TV, they're not trying to do weekly stuff. Like it is literally just fan service. They want people to go home happy because that's all you're presenting to. You're not trying to further storylines. Yeah, it's just a good time.
They come there. We have indie shows here in Hot Springs all the time. They're always in town. And that's all you do. You go down there, you have fun.
Yeah, like I've been to a couple around here. Or like I went to a beer festival a couple last year or the year before, and one of the side acts, like there was bands playing on certain stages, and then one stage off to the side was literally some Arizona indie promotion. I spent like 3 hours just hanging out watching these guys wrestle. It was awesome, and the whole thing was trying to do fan service. And they were purposely trying to bring in casuals because it was just people walking around and stuff. So they were doing moves that, like when somebody go to the top rope, they do like the Macho Man point before they do the elbow. One guy was he did the Scotty Too High worm and that kind of stuff. It was fun. Like they knew what they were doing. They were trying to have a good time. And if it's a live show, like as someone who enjoys going to live music, live theater, like it's just supposed to be fun and have a good time at those. And if you're not trying to further storylines or anything for it, just go for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, if I would have seen what you just showed me there at an indie show, I'd been pretty happy personally.
Yeah.
To make an outdated culture reference here that only Jake will probably understand.
Hey, I'm not the oldest one in the room.
But
easy.
Well, Dose was here, but he's gone now.
No. I don't.
No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Sam? No, I'm
kidding. I was just gonna say, sickos are like pitchfork readers. They're like people who read Pitchfork.
Pitchfork. Back in the day. Did they have a live journal? What's up, Brandon? I saw your hand go up again.
Okay. I was wondering, how do you feel about WWE doing like this live tour to the road to Clash at the Paris, which also is pretty much unfortunately counteracting AEW because Forbidden Door is on the same day. It's pretty much on that time.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that there was I know they were doing like Forbidden Door is like the weekend before or whatever, and the WWE's will have house shows in England at the same time. I mean, I'm sure there's a part of them that's not upset that they were promoting them, but that definitely isn't the reason they were doing it. I don't think it's kind of similar to the tour they're doing where you can only book certain venues at certain times. And once they lock down Paris to be the Clash show this year, because obviously this is what 3 or 4 years in a row they've done a clash at whatever and done it over in Europe because there's a million castles over there, so it's easy to do. He just booked the shows around it, and I don't know how great people are with geography, but I lived in London for 6 months. To get from London to Paris, it's like an hour-long train ride under the Channel. It's super quick, so you're really close in those areas, and they're also doing like Manchester and Liverpool along with London. So, I mean, I'm sure they're not upset that they're counter promoting it, but I don't feel like it was that on purpose.
Well, they're doing that with the European thing, and they're also touring Tecker and the All In thing. So this is called the wrestling. This is called doing business, folks.
Yeah,
it's called
here's
screw
the
over
other
your
thing
opponent
too.
wherever you can.